We on here? Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your old buddy Josh hanging out. Let me just check something real quick. We got Sean from Columbus. We got Connecticut. We got Indiana. We got PA in here. Timothy Smith is from Northeast Wyoming. Dag nap. That's here we got Jeremy and at a dance social dance. Hey, right on, Jeremy. What happened to your Filipino lady there, guy? Or Filipina? We got Hongs88. Can you talk about SPIAs, a single guy? Oh, yeah, we can definitely talk about SPIAs for sure, man. Hold on just a second. All right. All right, there we go. Yeah, right on. We can definitely talk about SPIAs. Single guy at 65. 300,000 yet take Social Security. I was doing actually, I'll tell you what, man, while we're doing this, we'll get in that right now. I got the whiteboard over there. I want to hit on that a little bit. Got my man James from Florida with his puppies. We got Ted from Maine. We got Kevin from Florida. Leisure 057 blank. We got Connecticut in the house. We got Lapine, Oregon. I lived in Lakeland, Florida for a little while, says Sean. Okay. We got Dean K / Michigan. So he lives in Ohio. Dean K is an Ohio State fan. We got C and J in Mexico. Right on, man. What part of Mexico? Tampico. I want to go to Tampico one time. We got Chuck B from PA. Harry from SPIAs. Harry from Oklahoma. I never know that. We got Angie. There he is. Angie Mancat from California. He's thinking about moving to Tennessee. We got Iowa, all right. DB Douglas, Southern Indiana, Frenchie Mama. Look at that dog, Southern Indiana. Chuck is from Illinois. I'm not gonna hold that against him. All right, cool. North Tejas, right on. Bo D, Bo Diddley, how you? Bo Diddley, where you been? Down in Watertown, drinking Jim. I can't remember the rest of that. Sebastian, Florida. Andrew's from Ohio, if memory serves. I've survived raw milk. I've survived MSG and Lake Michigan water. Yes, indeed. We got Ohio here, right on. Yeah, you'd have to look. I don't know. Good question. No, Jason says, does Fidelity Total Market Index pay more in capital gains than Vanguard? I presume it does, just because Vanguard had a patent on not have to pay capital gains. So I don't know that to be on Fidelity. I just don't know, but I presume it does. Let me just hold on real quick. I just posted a video. I went for a walk before I got on this. I posted a video while I was taking a walk. I haven't even listened to it. Hopefully the audio is okay. But my video I titled "Even More Proof You Can Retire," and watch that video later on. Obviously after we do this, but I'm trying to put it so weird. Anyway, when you get a chance, watch that video because it hit me. I was taking a shower. I was like, man, that's a good observation, Josh, about even more reason you can retire. So. And again, like C.S. Lewis says, Jesus was either a liar, a crazy man, or the Lord. Essentially, that's what C.S. Lewis. And there's some it's a pretty good way to look at it. Either Jesus lied, he was crazy, or he was the Lord. And that's anyway. And there's some people challenge that, but it's a pretty good observation about Jesus. That's what C.S. Lewis said. And so for me, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, the retirement planning academics, the financial media are either liars or they're ignorant. I'm not going to say they're crazy. They're either liars or ignorant. If they're ignorant, that means they don't know, which is even scarier because if they're liars, at least they're doing it deliberately. If they're ignorant, that means they don't know, but they're pretending they know, which is even scary. Or just dumb. I mean, there's no other way around that. Like they just like, ugh. And I mean, look, media journalists, generally speaking, aren't very bright people. So, I can't. And I'm not. They can be dumb and ignorant. They can be dumb and liars too. But it's just anyway. So I was thinking about this today and that's why I did my video on it. I said they're either liars, they're ignorant, or they're dumb. One of those three things, and dumb can go along with the other two as well. So. I don't know, man. I was thinking about this, and it just occurred to me. I don't know what they get for lying to us so much. The financial look. All media is liberal. They're not very bright people, these are freaking just people that have, they're probably beaten up in high school and they're so bad. Like, I say beaten up facetiously. It's not cool to bully people. I'm just telling you, but just like, they're losers, man. And they want to make a difference in the world. I'm going to go to the media, and they just line sacks of crap. There's no other way around that. But the financial media, sports media is horrible. Sports media is probably the worst because it's a bunch of weak white guys, essentially, who just idolize the black athletes. They couldn't play, so they went to write about it in sports. And the black athletes, they just idolized them. Like, oh man, if you'd only recognize me, I'd feel good about myself. And so it's just the craziest thing. And then they get a little bit of notoriety, and then they start being even more like Michael Lupica, just assholes. You know what I'm saying? Just horrible people. But you can just tell they're just weak. They couldn't play sports. They just idolize the black athletes, and they just, they have to be woke as can be because they think that's how they're going to get street cred with the black athletes. I mean, I've seen this a mile every such way to Sunday, and as such, they're woke because that's what they think. They think all blacks are woke, so we better be woke so we can get some street cred with the black athletes. It's crazy. Financial media is, then the regular media, the Taylor Lorenzo of the world. I mean, these people just, the regular, just liberal liars. I mean, these people are liars. I don't even think they're dumb. I think they're just liars. I think they only hear one side of the story, and so they're a little bit ignorant too. Don't get me wrong, but they're just horrible people, just liberals. Freaking Marxists. Marxist for us, capitalist for them. And socialize the risk, privatize the profits, and they get the profits. And then the financial media, I'd even just. They read The Economist. If you're reading The Economist, you're silly. That's all there is to it. I read The Economist. I read The New Yorker. It just, man. All right, so let's go back to my man. He asked about SPIA here. Jeremy's dancing the night away down there. Wee, you make me feel like dancing. And we're going to go to immediate, because I was looking at this the other day, immediateannuities.com. All right, so we're going to go to immediateannuities.com. Make sure you can all hear me okay, right? Jason Whitlock, yeah, everyone's hating on Jason now because he's taking on Deion Sanders. So I like Kwame Brown. I'm a big fan of Kwame Brown. I actually met him, and he's got a YouTube channel, and I'm a big fan. But a lot of these guys are saying Jason Whitlock's and Uncle Tom, and Kwame, I wouldn't say said that, but Stephen A. Smith and all these guys, because he's taking on Deion Sanders. And all right, cool, thanks, right on. And I like Jason Whitlock. He's, in fact, I was just listening to him right now, interviewing Warren Sapp. I thought that was pretty fun. So very, very fun. Bueno sound. All right, cool. Look at Joey Torres says Bueno sound. Look at that. So Jerry, there's Jerry. Hello from insane Florida. Oh yeah, dude, I'm never moving to Florida. Does he do the prosperity gospel, Deion? Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't like that either. I actually don't even mind Deion Sanders. I just hate that. I don't like prosperity gospel. I hate it, but I don't mind Deion Sanders like as a man and trying to be an idol, not an idol, a role model for black men. That doesn't bother me in the least. What bothers me though is when you say, I'm a black man and everyone's out to get me. That's the exact opposite of the truth. That's the opposite. There is black privilege in this society today. Just a fact. You all know it. Very few people will state it, but you know it. I know it too. And so I don't like that. I actually like the idea of a well-known black guy saying, look, this is what I actually, in one way, I wish Obama would have done more, but he tried to say, be married, don't do drugs, stay in school. Don't get your wife pregnant, your girlfriend's pregnant. Try. These are not white things here to have a family and stuff. I like that Deion Sanders does that. I just hate the idea like, oh, they're all out to get me because I'm a loud black man. Like, oh gosh, dude, being a loud black man gets you all the eyes, as you can see. Colorado, when they played, I don't know, USC or Oregon, was the highest rated college game that week. It's like, so why? Why would Colorado was 1-11 last year, and they lost to Stanford. I mean, that's not a good football team, and you can see it a mile away. So why would the only reason people are watching is because the media gave all the thing to Deion Sanders. That's it. So the idea that they're all out to get Deion Sanders because he's a loud black guy, is exact opposite. You're playing the role that you're supposed to. which is to be a loud black guy. Be Ben Carson there, Deion Sanders. Be Ben Thomas Sowell. Be one of these guys who are just guys who are freaking, they're not loud. They're freaking kicking ass and take just wonderful human beings who aren't loud, who get freaking serious gruff because they aren't loud black guys. We're saying, no, we don't have to be boxing as our race. There's a million other black guys who should get the notoriety and get the attention for being a role model, but we only give it to people like Deion Sanders because they're loud. It's crazy to me. And I actually don't mind that. I can't stand it. It's crazy. And all the, the white guys all say, I don't want to. It's like the whole thing with Donovan McNabb. Remember Donovan McNabb? And I actually like Donovan McNabb. But Rush Limbaugh said it best. The only reason the NFL wants a black quarterback, big time. And so they gave Donovan McNabb a lot more looks than other quarterbacks would have got, 100%. And it's 100% true. And I remember they went off on Rush Limbaugh, and we all know that was true. It's the same kind of thing. So the same thing with Deion Sanders. It's like, the only reason you're criticizing me is because I'm a loud black guy. You're like, no, dude. No, it's not it. It's like, why would you say that? And then he's like, so I have a team of, 80% blacks, and, people want us to go. And it's like, this is so stupid. I hate that crap. Anyway, yeah, it's North Padre Island right on in that. Deion, 100%. Deion needs to talk to, talk to Thomas. I'm reading Thomas Sowell's right now. Black Rednecks, White Liberals. It's I tell you, if you ever get a chance, just read that book. It's crazy. I just got done reading The Real History of Slavery, and it's just nuts. All right, so I want to go back to immediate annuities. I think Oregon, they lost today to Washington. I don't know if you're an Oregon fan. This can't be replayed on my website, but on YouTube, it can be replayed. Absolutely. Unless I say something, I want to take it now. All right, so I'm going to go back to what that guy said. Where's immediateannuities.com? Hold on just a second. Immediate annuities. There we go. All right, sweet. So we're going to show you. All right, let's see. How old was this guy again? How old did he say he was? Oops. He said he was my man here, Hong's 88. He's 65. All right, good. So I was stunned by it. So he's 65. He's single. All right, so we're gonna go Hong's 88. What does that even stand for? Hong's 88. All right, so anyway, let's go to here. We're gonna say this guy's, right. Look, I already got it in here. All right, sweet. Oh, sweet. I already got it in there. Look at that. $100,000, 65-year-old. He's a male. You know what you could do, Hong's 88? Oh, no, you know what you should do, women? You know what you should do? Because immediate annuities pay more to men than they do women because men have a lower life expectancy. You know what you should do? Let's say Annette. I just saw Annette in here. Annette, you should say you're a man when you apply for immediate annuity. You say, I transitioned to a man. And if they say, well, what are they going to say? We got to see your private parts or something like that. You say, no, I'm a man. And then they're going to say, but you're a woman. You say, no, I'm a man. I identify as a man. And if they don't give you the better annuity numbers, because again, men die earlier, so you get paid out more as a man than a woman, you should sue. You should say they're misgendering me and being transphobic. That's the way to do it, dude. Again, so you say, my name's Annette. Let's be Aaron. My name's Aaron. I'm a man. I want to apply for an annuity, a SPIA, single premium income annuity. And then they're going to say, well, you're a woman. No, I'm a man. But you're not. Yes, I am. And so I want the higher benefit for a man because I'm a man. That's how you do it. So now you knew. NFL, NFL promoting. Yeah, NFL. Look, I still enjoy football. I tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I do. I mean, it frustrates me no end. I'm drinking. This is not beer. I don't drink beer. This is this Waterloo thing. It was pretty good, man. Again, get about BOGOs on BOGO, buy one, get one free at Publix. Sparkling water. This is cranberry lemonade. That's good. It takes a while to get used to sparkling water. Once you get used to it, it's good. All right, so let's go back to immediate annuities. So here we got my man Hong 65. We're going to hit get my quote. I love SPIAs, dude. Huge fan. All right, we don't want cash refund. We want life with 10 years cert. All right, so check the, well, I guess, well, I don't know if, we'll just use Hongs here for simple. So the difference is $16 a month. I would always do life with 10 years cert. That means somebody, be it my brother, my whatever, maybe Hongs is divorced, maybe his wife left him for a younger guy, you know what I'm saying? Because Hongs was unable to perform. His wife says, I need someone who can perform. I'm not saying the sack, my friends. Get your head out of the gutter. I'm saying you can perform. You're doing hard labor that Hong's wife wanted him to do. Get your head out of the gutter. I'm not talking about performing the sack. What? Good night, people. Jeez, that's disgusting. Who would ever think like that? Oh my God, get your. I'm talking about he can perform, raking the leaves and doing stuff. All right. Anyway, so maybe he wants to leave. Costco has 24 packs of Waterloo for $6.59 this month, said Jill. I think I looked at it though. I think it was actually cheaper if I got a Publix for Bogos. Anyway, so what we always want, and I say always, not literally always, but pretty doggone close. The life of 10-year cert. So what happens if my man Hongs dies of a heart attack because he took a 7th booster in year 3? All right, that means his kids or whoever, me, will get the remainder of the 10 years period certain. So his kids would get 7 years. So Hong is going to get $621 a month for 10 years or life, whichever is longer. So if Hong dies in year 3, his heirs get the rest for the next 7 years. Hope that makes sense. Here, if Hong dies in year 3, it stops. So for $16 a month, whatever that is, $200 a year, it's always worth a life and 10-year period certain. I don't know if they used to be a 20-year period certain. Yeah, right here. And I a lot of times I even like the 20-year period certain, but either way. All right. So now what we do is we take this $621 a month and we say $621 a month times that by 12. That's $74.52. That's a 7.4% distribution rate, my friends. That's freaking nuts. That's insane. That's insanely good. And the reason is because the interest rates are so high. There's no other way around that. So I want to, now my man Harry, Harry did a SPIA, but 2 or 3 years ago when the interest rates were lower. Now people say, oh, you got screwed. No, he didn't, because what happens with SPIAs. So, because I did a video on this a couple of years ago on SPIAs, probably 2019. I did a video on SPIAs in 2019 where I said that same $100,000 annuity is getting, remember, that's not a return though, James. It's just a distribution yield. So that's not like a dividend or an interest income. It's basically you're getting, for every 100,000 you put in, you're getting 7,452 a year kind of back. Now, so obviously you take $100,000 divide by 7,452, you'll get your money back in 13 and a half years. So, basically, if you survive to year 14, it's cash money. You're in the black at year 14. All right. But anyway, so what happened is that back then when Harry did his SPIA, the interest rates were like 2 to 2.5. And I did a video on this. I said SPIAs back then were paying 100%. We don't know the return you're going to get to die. Absolutely. But we do know if we can make an assumption, if you live 20 years, we know exactly what you get. If you live 30 years, we know exactly what you get. But anyway, so when Harry did his, this wasn't Harry specifically, it was in 2019 when I did this video, the 10-year treasury is only paying 2.5%. And so the SPIA was paying 5.5% distribution yield. So someone could easily say, oh, but Harry, you did a SPIA when the rates were low. But the interest rates are low. What had happened in the interim, now that we get these high rates, what happened? Well, the bond market just got destroyed. Is this what it drives you crazy? People say, oh, you don't want to lock in your money while interest rates are low. Okay, so what would I have done differently? Oh, you would put your money in bonds when the interest rates are low. Now you're down. And some bonds are down 45%, man. It's always an equilibrium with SPIAs and interest rates. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope so. But everyone and their mom has a reason not to do a SPIA. They'll say the interest rates are low, the return's no good, I could do better in stocks, all this, that, and the other. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's all based on today's numbers. And so Harry did a SPIA. He missed all that carnage that happened in 2021, 2022, and now in 2023 for bonds. He's getting a steady rate of return. without question, is getting a steady rate of return that has no, when I say rate of return, a rate of money coming in, that has no risk whatsoever. You could say the solvency of the insurance company. I'm not worried about that in the least. I mean, you could be. I mean, that's something you can always worry. That was immediateannuities.com. Immediateannuities.com. So let's go back. So anyway, so then other people say, well, right now, is this where that just, it drives you up the wall. They say, well, now I can get 5 to 5.5% in bonds. I'm like, yes, you can. But did we not? That 5 to 5.5%, unless you're locking in a specific bond, isn't locked in. And I mean, I'm not a mutual fund, not an ETF. It has to. You got it, James. No, Harry's never regretted. That's what I'm saying. I've yet to talk to anyone. Maybe I've been doing this a long time. Who said, "Oh, I should never have done that SPIA." I've never heard that ever. But the SPIA is on inflation adjustment. It doesn't really matter. You know why? Because if we know basically for a fact that your income needs are going to go down as you age, your spending goes down as you age, the SPIA is like the epitome of the reverse RMD I've talked about. And one of these days I'm going to write a book on it. Because you're spending more money on the front end, and if you adjust it for inflation, which all means it does have a decreasing value to you, but your expenditures go down. Your expenditures go. You don't have to take the taxes out of monthly distributions, but you should, because you're going to have to pay. All right, so let's go back to immediate annuities. Oops, hold on a second. There we go. What did I do? So let's go back to immediateannuities.com. I guess what I'm trying to say is all this, none of this is, everything's in equilibrium. So if bonds are paying high interest rates, SPIAs are paying high interest rates. If bonds are paying low interest rates, SPIAs are paying low interest rates. So if you're going to avoid a SPIA while the interest rates are low, and you say, I'm just going to go in a bond, that makes no sense, because that means if you think the rates are going up, you're going to get spanked in the bonds. If you want to put in cash, that's fine, but cash rates are low too. It's like, what? The point is, when it comes to immediate annuities and annuities, generally speaking, everyone always has you shouldn't do this. You should. It's just so stupid. I'm like, man, stop. Just do what works for you. All right. So anyway, so let's go now. We're going to make Hongs. We're going to make him a chick. Can I change this? Yeah. How do I change this here? Did you say chick? How dare you, Josh? Yeah, don't care. What? Look at this. How come they don't have gender fluid in here? I don't know if y'all can see this. It only gives us 2 genders. How freaking dare you, immediateannuities.com? How dare you? I'm calling freaking Rachel Devine. That person will set you straight. All right, so here, look at the difference. Remember, we had 7.45 was the distribution yield for a man, 597 times 12. We got 7.16 is the distribution rate for a woman. So you can see right there the difference between a man and a woman, because men die earlier. All right, so now what I want to do here is I want to go to, I wanted to do, hold on just a second. I wanted to do, let's go to 60 years old just to show you. We'll just keep as a lady in here. All right, so we got 609, we're just go 597. Now we're going to 60 years old. All right. 558. So 558 times 12. That's a 6.6% distribution yield rate, not yield rate. And I now want to go to 55. The interest. Yeah, look at that, 524 times 12. That's a 6.28%. All right. So the point being is the annuity rates right now are freaking through the roof, dudes. Through the roof. So if you were able to bypass the bond, carnage of the last 3 years, right now is a freaking great time to do a SPIA, single premium income annuity. It's hard to see the rates going up much more. Really, it could. I just don't think so. It's hard to see the rates going up much more. But even if they were to do that, guess what goes down when the rates go up that much more? Your bonds. Your bonds do. That's what I'm saying. It's always an equilibrium. But now you're locking in, and we're talking for a 55-year-old guy, that's only 2 years older than me, a 6.28% distribution yield. Now there's no inflation adjustment here. I don't even think they offer annuities with inflation adjustment anymore. Because how do you quantify that? I don't know. And if they did the initial rate you would get, this is one of the things that freaking pisses me off about the National Retirement Risk Index that the Centers for Retirement Research at Boston College does, is you're like, dude, there is no inflation adjusted private annuity anymore. And they're like, if you were to take everything and put in an inflation adjusted income annuity and do a reverse mortgage on your home, oh my, I'm like, but that's so stupid, because the inflation adjusted annuities, when the USA used to have them when I was there, were so low. So low on the first 20 years, you had to survive until you're 85 just to make your money back, and in terms of making it worthwhile for you to do an inflation adjusted annuity. It was crazy. I love the concept of SPIA. What if I drop dead? Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, but so here's the issue. This is what always people say: you're dead. Who cares? I mean, literally for you? What if I drop dead at year one? You're dead. I mean, you literally don't care because you are dead. Now you could say, well, what about my kids? That's why we do a 10 or 20 year period certain. So I don't know if you came in late, Celtic Spirit, how double dog dare you? But that's what you do, is you do a 10 to 20 year period certain, which is you're saying, look, if I drop dead after year one, I guarantee my wife will have another 9 years or another 19 years, another 14 years, a 10, 15 or 20 year period certain. So remember, life and period certain is whichever is longer. So either you live beyond 10, 15, 20 years, and then when you drop dead, it dies, your annuity stops, or you die before the 10, 15, or 20 years are up, and then the annuity will pay until the 10, 15, or 20 years and stop. Well, I don't know. I mean, we're all going to die. That's just a fact. But so when we die, it's the financial gains are no more needed. That's a fact. What if you use a SPIA for 5 years? Yeah, a lot of people do that. So let's go. That's a good question. Let's take a look at immediateannuities.com and look at a 5 year bridge. I don't think it's going to pay that much, but it might be. I haven't looked at that for a while, Kevin. So let's do. We're going to do a 5 year. What he was talking right here. So 5 year period certain. That's what we're doing here. All right, so notice we got rid of the life here. All right, so basically Kevin is 62. He's going to dump $100,000 into a SPIA to bridge before he takes Social Security as full retirement age. So he's going to get $1,850 times 60, because he got 5 years of payments of $1,850. So he's going to get 60 payments of $1,850. So times 60. Yeah, you're going to make. I'll give you about 11,000. So what happens here is Kevin's putting 100,000 in. He's going to get 111,000 back, and then there'll be no more payment. That doesn't seem worth it to me. I would actually just put it into a money market or a CD or even a fixed annuity at this stage. That doesn't. I mean, I don't know. I would just do a money market, frankly. If I could get 5% a year on average for a money market, will you be able to get that for the next 5 years? I don't know, but I mean, I just that right there doesn't seem very valuable to me. In fact, I think if I can do this, let me see. We put $100,000 in. It's our present value. 111 is our future value. No, it won't even be that. We put $100,000 in. Is our present value. 0 is our future value. 1,850 is our payment. We do it for 5 years. 60N. Yeah, that gives us all of a 0.35%. Basically a 0.35% rate of return. And there's no value there at all, none whatsoever. So we're literally, it doesn't make any sense. You would just want to dump it in a liquid account instead of that right there. I'm going to get buried all the money. Well, no. Well, tell us where you're going to get buried, man, so we can come haunt you. How dare you? Don't be late. I was a couple minutes late. But I get the concept, to bridge Social Security. And some people talk about it. I just don't see any value there right now. In fact, I've never really seen much value in that. Of all the years I've been doing SPIAs, it never made sense because there's just not a good enough return at all. All right. My pension isn't inflation adjusted, but started paying me over 6% at age. Yeah, right there. Joe got over 6% at age 56. I mean, so I can let that's a slam dunk right there. Go buy agency bonds paying 6%. Well, I did. I have a Federal Home Loan Bank, and it got called about a month and a half ago. So I have a Federal Home Loan Bank that's paying 6%. I bought in March or February, and that sucker got called on me. So hey, I love the 6%. I can almost assure you any 6% bond is going to be callable. I haven't looked for a while, but I can almost guarantee if it's a 6% bond, that sucker is being called. There's going to be a callable option where they can call from you. Like 10%. Whoa. What do you mean you get your money back? What are we talking about here? So when a SPIA matures, it's over. There is no more money. I want to be clear here. I don't know if this guy's talking about SPIA. Oh, right. He's talking about the bonds right there. Okay, gotcha. Whew. All right, sweet. I have a deferred comp plan and 2 variable annuities, and I have to decide if I want to annuitize them, withdraw them, or leave them in the estate. This is helpful. Yeah, look, man, if you're going to be paying the fees on a variable annuities, you might as well annuitize them for sure. Might as well take the income. You don't even have to annuitize a variable annuity. You just do the GMIB, the guaranteed minimum income benefit. So that means it's still liquid to you. But annuitizing means you don't get the liquidity anymore. That's the drawback about an annuity. An annuitization is no longer a liquid account. You just get the monthly income until you're dead, or 5 years or 10 years, however you set it up. With a GMIB, the guaranteed minimum income benefit, or a GMWB, guaranteed minimum withdrawal benefit, which are kind of the same for a variable annuity, you can have access to the income without annuitizing it. So there's still liquidity there. Look, I'm not anti-variable annuities in the least. A lot of people say variable annuities are the devil. I completely disagree. You can do a bond layout, or 100%, Chuck. Yeah, look at Chuck B. 100%. Oh no! What? No. Why would? No. So why would SPIA come? No. SPIAs don't complicate anything. SPIAs make things easier, actually. So if you think about it, you say, I need X amount of dollars of income, and I don't have X amount of dollars of income. And now we SPIA, let's say I need $5,000 a month for simplicity, just for simplicity. And it will take $2,000 from Social Security. So I need $3,000 a month for my portfolio. And then I'm going to SPIA X amount of dollars. So SPIAs will give me $1,000 a month. So now I went from, I need $5,000 a month, $2,000 is coming from Social Security, $1,000 is coming from my SPIA. So now I just need $2,000 a month. And that's all it is. It's just reducing the flow you need from your rest of your portfolio. That's it. I love SPIAs. I think they simplify everything without question. Because now are you reducing the flow needed from the portfolio. You're reducing the volatility of the flow from the portfolios because you just locked it in. So now you're saying, okay, now I only need $2,000 a month and that will be volatile because it's in the portfolio. Whereas before I needed $3,000 a month, which is going to be volatile. Yeah, right here. My money market yields 5.3. Yeah, well, but the minute rates decline, they're going to drop fast. All right, so my man says he can see plenty of agency bonds that are 5 years without call. I mean, plenty of agency bonds at Schwab that aren't callable. So let's see if we can find. I haven't looked for a while. So we're going to go to Schwab right here, and okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, you're late to class too. Freaking tie. Jeez Louise and blue cheese, everybody. No one has any respect anymore. So we're going to go to menu. We're going to go to research. Look at bonds. All right, here we go. So I'm going to show you guys some bonds. We're going to look at find bonds. We're going to look at agencies. And we're going to come down here. We don't want corporates. We want agencies. And we're going to look to see what we got. And we're going to filter out. We're going to say non-callable. So let's see. I mean, you might be right. I don't know. It's been a while since I looked, but let's see what we got. So we got non-callable bonds. There you go. Well, let's see. Actually, I want to go 5 years. Hold on a second. I want to go 5 years. If I search this. So these are, hold on a second, guys. We're going to go maturity date. We're going to do we'll do 2027. There you go. There we go. Let's see what we come up with. View search results. So we're filtering out callable. We're doing 4 years. Yeah, there you go. Yield to maturity, right on. All right, sweet. So we got 4.77. Yeah, that's pretty good. But I don't see anything 5. I don't see anything near 6. Yeah, no 6%. There's a 5.1 TVA. That's oh wait, that matures. Oh, but that's dude. There's no freaking 6% non-callable agency bonds. What are you talking about? I've been close, man. Come on. This is a TVA. So here's a TVA, Tennessee Value Authority, matures in 2065. Your yield to maturity is 5.399. I mean, come on, this is silly. Let's not be over dramatic here. There's no 6% yield to maturities at all that are. Now, if we do callable, I bet we'll see callables. So now we can modify a search. I'm going to do callables. And I guarantee there'll be callable bonds. Let's see what we got. Probably I can't guarantee anything. I imagine it'll be callable bonds. Yield to worst will go here, and we're going to show our highest yield to worst. Yeah, so here we go, 6.5 right here. That matures, right here. So it's callable every year, man. I mean, so here's a Federal Farm Credit Bank. It's got 6.5% coupon. It's callable. Next call date is 9/25/2024. All right, so the maturity is 2048. I mean, so there is no 6% non-callable 5-year bond. I mean, come on, unless you're doing corporates, and I bet even that you're not going to find. So let's do the corporates. All right, so let's nip down the bud real quick. We're going to go to corporates here. I bet there's no corporates that even come near that either. Let's take a look. And corporates. What happened? Did I not hit modify search? All right. I'm not sure what it wants from me. Oh, here we go. All right, so here we got. I'm just gonna go to yield to maturity. The highest corporate yield to maturity is Petróleos Mexicanos yield to maturity is 12.28. You can buy that with a coupon of 7.69. Be my guest buying that guy. That's for sure. We got a Pemex. I think that's Mexican cement, right? Pemex, or is that? I can't remember. But I think it's Mexican cement. That's got 6 5/8 coupon, and the yield to maturity is 12.042, and it matures in 2038. Yeah, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole, but you can. I got no qualm with that. I would not touch that. Hey Denise, how you doing? Credit risk with these type of there's Tom. Hey Tom Major, I've seen you around for a while. To the moon. I'm so glad I didn't fall for the lump sum pension I was offered. And 100%. So I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's got, for simplicity, $1 million and a cash balance pension plan, and $1 million in his 401k, something like that. And he's working with a guy who works, a financial advisor who does a lot of work with his with the employees from this firm. Of course, the financial advisor is telling him always take the lump sum, and he's only 55. When I ran the numbers, I said, dude, you're getting I think it was like a 6.5% distribution rate with 100% survivor benefit. You're 55 years old. Oh, you don't take the lump sum. Now, if that was all the money you had, we can make an argument to take the lump sum. But I said, this is poppycock. I'm the no malarkey kid. No malarkey. Remember Biden's initial thing? No malarkey. Oh God, that guy's just such a clown. I can't believe our president's that guy. I mean, he's not, but because he's not in charge. But just anyway, I was like, dude, there's no way you don't take the pension. You don't take a lump sum. You take the pension. You're getting a 6.5% distribution rate at 55 years old with 100% survivor benefit. And you still got $1 million or whatever it was, and you can put in your 401k. So it's just not even debatable to me. Now, it's not my money. He can do whatever he wants. The problem is people don't like the idea of locking that money up where they lose the liquidity. They don't. And you got to get over that. You got to say, I will have a guarantee. You're not, Social Security isn't liquid. You got to say, I will have a guarantee your freaking salary isn't liquid. It's just look at it as like a paycheck. You got to do that. Now he said, well, what about, the company could go bankrupt? I said, well, presumably is guaranteed under PBGC. Now, is PBGC as safe as a wind-driven snow? No. But I mean, look, there are risks in our life. And I just said at the end of it. So the issue is if PBGC goes kaput, you think the stock market will be okay? That's why I always tell people all the time. It's like, all right, so let's go back to this. If the U.S. government can't pay their bills, you think the U.S. stock market will be okay? I just want to be clear there, because I don't want to touch the government because they're so heavy in debt. They can't pay their bills. They're going to monetize the debt. No one even knows what that means. Everyone thinks that means inflated. What we're already doing that, man. We're already monetizing the debt. We're issuing more debt than we have. I mean, we're just literally printing money. It's not printing money. We're just ones and zeros. It's already happening. But people say, "Oh, yeah, I don't want to touch government bonds because they're so heavy in debt. So I'm going to buy dividend-paying stocks instead." Now, look, you could buy dividend stock. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do, but don't buy dividend stocks and tell me the reason you're doing it is because the government debt is so, the government is so liberal on their spending that they're going to go bankrupt. I'm like, and you think if the U.S. government can't pay its bills, your stocks are going to be okay? Okay. It's weird, man. Now, it's not a yield. So just remember, this is not yields we're talking about with these. Yeah, and I just showed you. You did say non-callable. You did. You said, at least that's what I read. Almost everything. You said, because I said all the ones at Schwab were callable, and you said plenty at Schwab. That's what you said. You said agency bonds, and I said they were the only ones you could get at Schwab were callable, and you said there are plenty right there. So there aren't plenty. They're all callable. Yeah, 1 year T-bills recently. I think Pemex is petroleum. All right, right on. Cemex, okay, there you go. What are you saying? GE. 20-year trade. Yeah, what I'm saying. I mean, that's 4%, 4.96. Oh boy, stock market is going down. Never heard that before. Never heard that one before. If PBGC goes nipples up, that means the world went down the two. Yeah, what I'm saying. That's like, look. I mean, it could have happened, sure, but I mean, not that I believe in nukes in terms of nuclear war, but that could happen. I mean, not that I believe an asteroid is going to hit us, but that could happen. I mean, it's not that I believe that oil will ever run out, but theoretically that could happen because the oil will never run out because I think the earth creates its own oil, like the blood we have in our bodies. But who knows? Now, deferred annuities, I like deferred annuities. Huge fan, Chuck. I'm a huge fan of fixed deferred annuities. I want to make sure they're fixed. I like variable annuities too, man. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against variable annuities. I don't like when people do variable annuities and they don't take the income stream because you're paying these fees for the income stream. So if you're going to pay the stream, you might as well turn on the income. There are other drawbacks about variable annuities and the death benefit and all that, which is very expensive for nothing. But at the end of the day, if you're going to do a variable annuity, you do it for the income. So I'm going to bring it over here. I hope you all can still. I wonder if I could change my mic. Mic mute. I wonder if I could edit. Ooh, mic. I left my mic upstairs anyway. I can't. I'm not sure what you mean by a longevity annuity, Vaughn. All right, so let's go over here. I'm going to show you how variable annuities work. I think they get a lot of misrepresentation. Hope you all can still hear me. You make me feel like dancing. Gonna dance tonight. You make me feel like romancing. I don't care what you say. My wife's upstairs. She makes me feel like romancing. I don't make her feel like romancing though. Sad. Hold on just a second. Let's Only reason my wife married me because I promised her I had a big checking account. Little did she know my big checking account was negative. She said, I thought you had a big checking account. I said, I do. A big checking account with NSFs, non-sufficient funds. And being that we're Catholic, we don't look kindly on divorce. So I said, sucks to be you, babe. And 4 kids later, she goes, "Oh boy, the screen is blurry." Anyone knows? Okay, cool, good. All right. So what we're gonna, oh man. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you the basis of variable annuities. So that way, if you have one, you can know how it works, and you don't have to get suckered into closing it out. All right. So basically, with a variable annuity, you have two types of an account. You got an income and a cash value. So let's just say you put $100,000 into a variable annuity. All right, so we're going to put $100K into a variable annuity. Basically, you're going to end up paying around 2.5% fees. That's all in. That's everything. That's the fees for the mutual funds that are in the variable annuity, the investments. That's the fees for the stupid death benefit that they have, which I don't like. It's called mortality and expense fee. And that's going to be the fee for the income, what's called a rider, an RIDER, a rider. And what a rider means is you're paying a fee for some benefits that I'll show you here. So you have two different types of, there's two accounts within one variable annuity. So we got $100,000, and this will go up and down with the markets, up and down with the markets. Remember though, it will never go up as much as like an index fund, because you're paying 2.5%. I mean, so it's costing you $2,500 a year on the $100,000. Why? Because I'll show you here in just a second. I mean, so this will never do better than just a portfolio of a similar allocation. All right. So if you had a 60-40 portfolio and an average 8% a year, your variable annuity will be 2.5% lower than that. It'd be 5.5%. It's impossible for a variable annuity to outperform a similar asset allocation because of fees. If anyone says otherwise, they're freaking lying sacks of crap. There's no other way around that, because there's no way. And so what happens here, and this is what happens a lot. So you'll have $100,000 in a variable annuity from 2003. You wake up, say 20 years later, it's worth 170. Yet if you were in the market, it would be worth 280. I mean, or 250, something significantly higher, because this right here, the lag. So now a lot of people say, "Man, I've had an annuity for 10 years. It hasn't done that well. I want to move it out." I'm like, now is not the time to do that, because now we have this income base. So what happens with a lot of these annuities, they're going to guarantee you a certain increase on your income base each and every year. A lot of times, and I don't know if they still do it this much, but a lot of times they'll say, look, you dump $100,000 in today, in 10 years, we'll guarantee you that your income base will be no less than $200,000. All right, so we're going to guarantee you a 7.2% rate of return on your income base. I'll talk about what that means again in just a second. Now, this right here might be worth 150, might be worth 250. I highly doubt it'll be worth 250. It could be worth anything. But this right here is guaranteed to be worth no less than $200,000. And at that point, after 10 years, you can take 5% a year off. As a guaranteed minimum. That's a guaranteed minimum income benefit. That's what a variable annuity calls it, GMIB. So you're like, all right, so if I put $100,000 in, and let's say my account's only worth 150, my cash value, but my income account is worth 200, I'm guaranteed no less than $10,000 a year. It's going to be usually for a joint life as well. Not all the time. It depends on how you structure it, but mostly we'll just say for you and your spouse. Yes, that's right. That's what happens. You're like, okay, can this ever go down? No. What what's happened now? So now I'm taking $10,000 a year out. That's reducing my cash value account. So this 10,000 is reducing this. So as you can see, if my account is only worth 150,000 bucks, I'm taking 10,000 a year out, whatever that percentage is. Hold on a sec. That 10 divided by 150, that's a 6.7 distribution yield. Because 10,000 is what my account's worth, what I'm taking out. The account's only worth 150,000. So I keep taking that 6.7% distribution yield at some point. I hope you guys are seeing this. Yeah, you guys see it. At some point, this will be going all the way down. It'll be down to zero in no time, in a couple of years. When this goes down to zero, guess what? This right here still pays as long as you're alive. And so that's what that 2.5% fee was paying for, is this guaranteed income stream. Now, in theory, this could go up. If your cash value goes up, it's not likely to happen, but it could. But that's you're saying, all right, I'm willing to lock in $100,000 today. And by the way, you're not annuitizing anything either. This is all liquid. Again, if you're taking $10,000 out and the account's only worth $150,000, I mean this account, the liquidity is dropping pretty significantly. But you're saying I put $100,000 in, I will have no worse than, and I don't know if they still offer these kind of, there's similar structure. I just don't know what the exact percentages are. I don't know if they still offer it at 5% after, I don't know, but something along these lines. I'm still able to get $10,000 a year. That's the worst case scenario. So I'm 60 years old. I'm like, I'm going to put $100,000 in a variable annuity. That way, when I'm 70, with my Social Security and my guaranteed income off my variable annuity, I'll have X amount of dollars a year, $50,000 a year. Not too shabby. If I need $65,000 a year, hey, thanks, James. Look, my man James. James is my brother. But if I have 60,000, if I have 50,000 a year from my variable annuity and my Social Security, I only need 70,000 a year. I need 20,000 bucks from the rest of my portfolio. Remember, I'm 70 years old now. So if I need $20,000, how much do I need in my rest of my portfolio? Because you don't want to annuitize everything. I don't know any insurance company that would let you. So 20,000 divided by 0.05. I only need $400,000. But that's a 5% distribution rate. But actually, I'm 70 now, so I can even take a higher distribution rate. Anyway, the point being is the nice thing about the variable annuity or annuities as a whole is they lock in a certain income stream you can't outlive. You just can't. I do want to hear something hysterical. What I'm saying. Now, so this is what drives me crazy is that we know for a fact your variable annuity will underperform a similar asset allocation. Right? That's just a fact. So you always have, I can't say always, you're probably always going to have less money in your variable annuity than your other accounts. And people after 10 years like, man, this annuity sucks. I want to get rid of it. It's like, not now. You've been paying these fees for $2,500 a year for 10 years. You've already paid $25,000 in fees. Don't do it now. Now's the time to say, the annuity's underperformed as I should have expected. But my income stream is there. I hope that makes sense. Because that's a big deal. If you have a variable annuity, don't get rid of it now. It doesn't make any sense. Longevity annuity, buy annuity, I say 65 with a lump sum of money, but defer to start date. Oh, yeah, it's just a fixed. That's a fixed annuity. What I'm saying. Okay, gotcha. So Vaughn, buy an annuity. I say 65 with a lump sum of money, but defer the start date before they annuitize it. Yeah, that's a fixed annuity. I'm a huge fan of fixed annuities. Remember, fixed annuities allow you to annuitize it later on, too. It's not just like it's a CD where it matures and you get all your money back. You could do that, but you can also annuitize it as well. I like annuities. By the way, as I say that all the time, too, remember the nice thing about doing annuities while you're younger is the, what was it? The payout rate. Now I'm going to draw a blank what it was. You lock in the annuity while you're younger. I can't remember. Because the payout rate was based on what was that? Yes, I haven't done this for so long. When I was at USA, a deferred annuity when you're younger, I can't remember why I used to say that. Anyway, I used to tell people to buy deferred annuities, but I'm only 48 years old, because the payout rate was based on the life expectancy, the longevity rate. Yeah, so I think that's what it was. So when you did a fixed annuity / deferred annuity, when you're young, you're locking in your mortality table. That's what it was. You're locking in your mortality table. So let me give you an example. So, and this has changed now because COVID and the J has hurt people, if you know what I'm saying. So the life expectancies, the mortality tables have actually gone down, whereas before the COVID, the mortality tables are going up. Mortality table is just life expectancy. All right. So what would happen is if we looked at a guy who had locked in an annuity like in 1985, his mortality table was like 6 years or 5 years less than a guy who locked an annuity in 2015, something like that. And what that meant is that the annuity company will issue you your payment based on mortality table of the time when you bought the annuity. And it's so I tell you, man, it's crazy. I will never forget this. I looked at this guy's contract, and he was going to annuitize it. I was talking about annuitizing his annuity, and I said, "Why is that paying so?" This is many years ago. I said, "Why is that paying so much more than annuity today?" It was crazy. So probably 2015. I just looked at this guy's contract because I was thinking I was going to propose to him and annuitize it. And I said, I was looking at the payout schedule, and the payout schedule was based on the contract when he took the annuity out, like 1985 or 1990, something like that. And I remember saying, so compared to a brand new income annuity versus annuitizing his old deferred annuity. I hope this makes sense. It probably doesn't, but I'm just going to yap. It was significantly different. Significantly. It was like $300 a month more if he just annuitized his old contract as opposed to buying a new income annuity. I'll never forget that. I said, why is that? So I contacted, this one's at USA. There's a bunch of people at USA don't know crap, but I finally got to a guy who knew what the hell he's talking about. He goes, oh, because the old mortality tables. I said, what? He goes, look at the initial contract. So you can bring up the contract, it's in microfilm or whatever the hell it's called. And you look up the contract, and you see they say this payout percentage is based on this table right here. The mortality tables in like 1985 or 1990, when people weren't living as long as they did in 2015. I said, holy crap. I had no clue at all. It's nuts. And so all these older annuity contracts. So, I was getting on the horn like crazy. And I call people and say, do you need guaranteed income? Or do you want guaranteed income? Why? I said, because you have an older contract that's paying you like 20% more than a new contract. What? And people, it's hard to explain to people. Like, it's hard for me to explain it now, but I just compare. I said, look, let me show you. Here's your old contract. It pays you $500 a month. If you took the same money and bought a new contract today, it'd pay you $300 a month. So the question was, do they want the $500 a month or not? And if the answer is yes, like, dude, let's do this puppy. It's crazy. That's kind of changed now. The mortality tables going the other direction. So remember, the mortality tables went up. You were living longer. Now the mortality tables are going down because Wuhan and Fauci and Francis Collins and the Echo Alliance and people who should be in jail. And hopefully at some point they will be. I don't know, though. I'm not holding my breath. But at the end of the day, it was a crazy observation. And I never would have known that, except I just happened to start crunching a couple numbers. And thankfully, I talked to a guy who knew what he's talking about when it came to annuities. And there's a guy on LinkedIn named Gary Mettler. I don't know if Gary Mettler, let me look him up. He's one of the smartest guys on annuities I know. Gary Mettler, Mettler. And on all sorts of annuities. No one knows more about annuities than this guy. This guy's crazy. One of these days I got to interview him, man. I keep forgetting that. I got so many people I want to interview, and then I keep forgetting. I'm going to look up this guy, because if he's got a website, I'm going to share it with you. Mettler. There he is. The Annuity Maestro. Let's see if he's got a website here. View full profile. I think he did a book. Does he got a immediate annuity. All right. I don't see who's got a website, but it's just Gary Metler or Gary S. Metler. Let me just look up 1 second. GarySMetler.com. Gary, oops, S. Metler. 1 second. Website. No, it's too bad. I don't have a website, man. Look up the annuity maestro. Yeah, right there. There's a website. All right, cool. Yeah, there it is. All right, sweet. So I'm gonna let's GarySMetler.com. Can you all see this? Yeah, right there. So if you're interested in annuities, this is the guy to look at, man. This guy, he knows more about this stuff than I mean, it's nuts. Income annuities, pension and marital property, divorce, oh no, not all assets will split equally. Ooh, interesting. The lost language of immediate annuities. Is it bad to sell annuities? No. Stretch IRA alive and well. Plan stronger. All right. Always keep your hands up. Anyway, so ton of stuff on this guy. Buy blog. Let's take a look at his blog. Let's look at his news. Yeah, anyway, there he goes. GarySMetler.com. It's a good website to go to for sure. All right, so not working, but we have a few years before Social Security yet, so she could get the higher pension and the Social Security benefit. You guys must be talking amongst yourself, which is cool. My advisor at work tried to sell me a variable annuity with some of my 403B. Yeah, it pains me how these advisors don't know their own products, Jill. Variable annuities are actually quite easy to explain if you think about it. There's just two different accounts. One's an income account, one's a cash value account. I can almost guarantee the cash value account will not grow as well as your own investments will, naked, because your investments, because the annuity have these significant fees. And so if you explain it like that, you say, but what are the fees you're paying for? Is it for me to get rich? No, it's for you to have an income stream. So in this way I'd position it is I'd say we're kind of done with our growth at all opportunity now we got to do income and protection. And the annuity, you're going to pay for it. None of this is free. You're going to pay for a guaranteed income stream and protection as well. That's just a fact. Now you could get some growth. I don't think you'll get nearly as growth as you will. In fact, I don't know how it'd be possible as a naked account that doesn't have the fees on there. Well, that's by design because at this stage, we've already got the growth we've established as we're going to retirement. But all these guys will have these sales pitches, and it's so stupid. I'm like, just keep it simple, stupid, man. But also, the best sales tactic, what I've always found, because I've always been in sales, I like sales, is always explain the negative right up front. So, no, there's some negatives on this. It costs a freaking hell of a lot of money. That's no fact. Another negative is I'd make a commission. You put $100,000 in there, I get $5,000 front end commission. I don't get paid anything after that. But that's part of that 2.5% fee was a commission to the sales guy. You know what I'm saying? You just up front, you say it. That way people say, oh, being honest. It's weird how people just like, there are no fees in a variable annuity. There are no fees. And I'm like, there's always fees. No one's working altruistically. You know what I'm saying? No one's doing that. It's all fees. So anytime people, there's no fee, I'm like, I hate that crap. It's nuts. Ted says, good chat off the Rosary group. The world needs prayers now. Done it. Yeah, they sort of do. In fact, let's say prayers. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Dear Heavenly Father, we pray for the people of Israel. We pray for the people of Palestine too. We just pray for war and any kind of war mentality that seems to affect people to just go away. Go away. War is never the solution. It's never the solution. The slaughtering of innocent people who had nothing to do with anything is never the solution. For some reason, bloodlust runs in our veins, Lord. We just ask for you to guide us away from that bloodlust, to guide us to peace, to love our fellow man who Jesus died for. Jesus died for the Palestinians as well as he died for the Jews. Jesus died for the Hamas terrorists as well as he died for the IDF forces. Jesus died for us all. We're all made in your image. We're all Abrahamic religion. Please just get circumscribe side our hearts for your love, so that way we can do good things in your name and always glorify you in all we do. And war is not the way to glorify you. We pray in Jesus' name, amen. Now, if you haven't read your Bible, God in the Old Testament, he was pushing war on the Israelis, saying the tribes of Israel. That's just a fact. It's a challenge, man. It really is. You got to read your Bible. You're like, it makes you think. It does make you think. A lot of people go to seminary. If they're really reading the Bible, they turn away from the Bible because they said, they go in there with good intentions, but they read the actual wording of the Bible and they say, that's not the God I remember from the New Testament. It's a challenge, and that's something you have to work with yourself with. And no one can tell you to say, oh, you don't get it. No, you got to go through it. You got to say your prayers. You got to think. You got to read. But there's a lot in the Old Testament that's challenging for sure. And then people say, well, the Old Testament says pray for Israel. Well, Israel is not a political entity that's in this ground of an azimuth. It's the tribes of Israel. So you should pray for the tribes of Israel, but you should also pray for the Palestinians, because where are these people supposed to go, man? And let's look at the Gaza Strip. It's like people. I had the one guy on here. I don't know if he's probably not here anymore, but he's like upset with me because I say, yeah, let's think about this before we just go bloodlust and level Gaza. I mean, there's like 2 million people there, or something like that. Where they supposed to go? It's crazy. I don't like Republicans who are doing this. Like, oh, let's nuke them and raise it all. I'm like, what? So let's look at the Gaza Strip. It's not good. Maps. I mean, so we're going to look at present. So you don't have to be pro-Hamas to say, so here's a Gaza Strip. Where are these people supposed to go? I mean, what's this? Egypt right here? So, I mean, are they supposed to? So let's just say you're just a guy up here in Jabalia, and you're raising your family. You're trying to get your kids off to school and whatnot. And now all of a sudden, Netanyahu says, you get the hell out of Dodge because we're coming in. You're like, well, where do I go? The only place I can go is down here, but I got kids to feed. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Well, don't you know Hamas? Okay, so Hamas caused this. So yes, they should be pissed at Hamas. I get it, but look at what the U.S. has done. Look at all the times we've done horrible stuff. So what if China says, "Oh, U.S. or we'll use Iraq." What if Iraq becomes a world power and said, U.S., you guys better leave Washington, I don't know, wherever, Atlanta, because you bombed us to smithereens. Now we're going to get vengeance. You're like, well, I didn't do that. I mean, but your country did. Yeah, well, it wasn't me, but you voted. That's the whole thing. Well, they voted for Hamas. So, well, we voted for, Bush, or we voted for Obama, all warmongers. So you better leave Atlanta. Well, and we're surrounded by Iraqis all over the place who want us dead anyway. So where are we supposed to go exactly? I didn't vote for this to happen, for nuts and the U.S. government to start bombing because of. I didn't do that. I'm trying to raise my kids. Oh, sorry, you got to leave. And on top of that, Iraqis are saying, nuke them all, raise the whole damn thing. It's crazy, man. Get that bloodlust out of your brain. It's nuts. It's not godly. That doesn't mean you're pro-Hamas. There's 1 million people that have no place to go to. It's crazy. And on top of that, you cannot, there's no way under God's green earth, Israel was not aware. I don't know what the hell happened. Actually, what I think it is, I think they did this to make Netanyahu go. That's what I think. I think at the end of the day, Netanyahu and the guy from Egypt are a force against the Muslim Brotherhood, and as such, but there's a lot of liberal Jews in Israel. And a lot of so the Netanyahu's and he's not the greatest guy, I get you, but he's representing the religious Jews. And the liberal Jews are losing power because they're not having babies. You know what I'm saying? So the religious Jews, this is just the way I see it. I absolutely could be wrong. I've never been to Israel. I will never go. But my understanding is there's a lot of deep resentment in the Israeli politic that I almost wonder, almost a la Trump, if some of the guys in the IDF and the Mossad wanted to take Netanyahu out, just like the FBI, the CIA did with Trump. I can almost, and so they said, while Egypt may have warned Israel about this coming thing, it didn't go up this chain of command because they wanted to make it so Netanyahu would bear the political consequence. I read an article today that 55% of the Israelis want Netanyahu to resign now. And I was like, that's interesting. So I'm almost wondering, because the guy from Egypt said, Sisi said, we didn't warn these guys or Israel. So I don't know what's going on. It just seems like an easy scapegoat to say Netanyahu knew and didn't do anything, because the secular Jews don't want the religious Jews gathering more strength, and the religious Jews are getting bigger and bigger because demographics is destiny. I just want to, so the religious Jews have issues with the religious Muslims for sure, but they also have most right now. They're no different than the Muslim sects have issues with each other. But right now it's there's a lot of tension between the secular Jews and the religious Jews. And I'm just wondering if this was almost like, we forgot to tell the boss that this is coming. So we're going to put some people up for sacrifice. And if you think people don't get sacrificed, where have you been the last 3 years, man? I mean, what do you think this last? By the way, what was Israel doing when it came to, let's just say, experimental treatments, if you know what I'm saying? That wasn't a sacrifice. The hell bells. I mean, you don't think? So Israel is knee deep in that. So sacrificing people from evil peoples can easily sacrifice innocent. It happens all the time. I mean, remember Madeleine Albright, when she was asked, well, 500,000 Iraqi children are going to suffer because of your sanctions. Yeah, that sucks, but that's what we're going to have to do. It's just some evil, sick mofos are running the show. And the one thing you should not do is give them your bloodlust that gives them the energy. Don't do that. Dude, 3 years ago, I was with you before COVID. I was with you. Say, oh my goodness, those freaking Muslims, take them out right now. After COVID, no, I see things way differently now, man. After what happened under COVID, I can see that there is absolutely some kind of world dominant authority. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it's a real human being or it's just something in our brain. I don't know. There's no way on God's green earth, every single country, except for like Sweden, just capitulated without being told to do that by some commanding authority. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the Rothschilds, it's the Rockefeller. I don't know. It's certainly not freaking Klaus Schwab. I mean, he's just a freaking puppet head, but a puppet. But either way, there's something that happened. And I said, wait, how did all these countries just capitulate just like that? Just like that. And then Sweden still was big on the vax, don't get me wrong. So it's kind of like, that's just seemed, but they were going after Sweden. And I remember it's crazy too, because like I posted this on Facebook the other day, because I'm a little bit more active on Facebook now, because I think I miss seeing some of what my friends are doing, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of back. I don't do much on Facebook, but I don't care about politics on there. But I posted this the other day. I said, isn't it interesting that I forgot what I was going to say, that everyone just capitulated. That's what I said. I said, isn't it interesting that Martin Kulldorff and even Paul Offit are kind of on our side now. Or Kulldorff certainly is about the JAB, but even Offit, and if you know who Paul Offit is, you'll know that guy is the biggest vax holder ever could be. And yet even he, as like, isn't it weird that even these guys, and like Kulldorff was the guy who wrote the study in the Institute of Medicine that says, the childhood vax, the MMR, the DPTs, all that stuff, it's all safe. He wrote that in 2012 in the Institute of Medicine study that completely doesn't say that at all if you actually look at the study. And so Kulldorff was not a good guy when it came to us Andy Wakefield types that said, your jabs aren't all as cracked up to be. Andy Wakefield, apologies, hopefully he'll get some. But anyway, And so seeing him, he's been astounding on our side against the JAB for this last round. But even Paul Offit, I couldn't believe it. I said, if you would have told me that I would be on the side of Paul Offit in this one area and Martin Kulldorff, I would have thought you're nuts. And yet here we are. So how did that come to be? And people just want to still sweep this under the rug. I don't want to sweep it under the rug. Evil happened. It fell upon our society, and many, 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 many people were sacrificed to Moloch for that freaking big pharma crap. So you hear about these, Ben Shapiro is showing AI images of babies being burned or something like that. Well, Ben Shapiro, you freaking scumbag, you're part of a big pharma outfit on the board of big pharma based in Israel. How many freaking babies did you sacrifice, Ben Shapiro, you freaking scumbag? With your, get the you know what, dummy, you freaking clown. You kiss my big fat behind. And now you just like, rah, I can't stand that guy, dude. I cannot stand Ben Shapiro. What a freaking clown. Oh my, what an evil son of a bitch, man. Pardon my French. I can't stand that guy. Oh, get the JEB, dummy, as he jumps on a freaking board of an Israeli pro-vax company. And we just murder all these guys because freaking clown. Anyway. For alternative investments, I do enjoy the more rational vehicles. Aren't you watching North Carolina? They're playing Miami right now. Deferring Social Security is an easier annuity purchase for me. That's 100%, Chuck. Yeah, deferring Social Security is a great annuity purchase. I could not agree more. Absolutely. The annuity maestro. You'll never live to 83? Yeah, Stanley Annuity man. I think, I don't know if Denise is here, but Denise made a good point on our Wednesday live stream on locals. She said, isn't it weird how the rates, because last I checked, the rates are down like 40 basis points on the 10-year treasury. It was interesting. So the rates going down, indicative of that that Janet Yellen and the boys, they are like, we can't afford this. Yeah, I'm not purchasing long-term care insurance ain't cheap. Yeah, 100%. My folks, I 100% Celtic spirit. Look at that. Now, some people do get paid, 100%, absolutely. But that's, I think. So there's Tar Heels forever. I'm retiring at the end of this year. No debit. He doesn't have a debit card. You might want to get a credit card if you don't have a debit card, or even just a good old fashioned ATM, thing there. But I have a 1.6 million. 800,000 non-IRA, 800,000 IRA. Should I be looking at annuities? Any option? Yeah, I don't know. You got to know what your income stream is, man. I don't know. I mean, yes, you should be looking at annuities. Now, should you do it? I don't know. But yeah, absolutely, you should be looking at it. There we go. The Shark. Who's the Shark? I remember this guy. He's been around a while. We're all needed to have this moment together. Oh, thanks. I had a 98% blockage at 48 in my LAD, and now I'm 56 and doing well. Crazy, man. My man Tom Cowan, Dr. Tom Cowan, had written a book on this. He goes, isn't it interesting if, a 98% blockage didn't kill you, but a 99% one could? So his whole thing about the heart being a pump, he challenges that. He goes, the heart's not a pump. And as such, the blockage issue isn't as what the heart attacks kill you. Because he goes, so how can it be? So he talks about a guy who's going on a hike. He has a 93% blockage. He's fine. 95% blockage, though he's dead. He goes, does that make any sense to anybody? So here's Sean. So a 98% blockage didn't kill him. So if it's 99% or 100%, would that have killed him? You know what I'm saying? Because it's able to squeak through this tiny little bit. But I mean, it's just Dr. Tom Cowan. He's on Rumble. I think he's on YouTube. We'll see. He might not be because, he's verboten, as we Germans will say. Yeah, no, that's Russian. We'll say donkey shin. Donkey shorts. So we go to Thomas. Guy crushes. I interviewed him, by Tom is Callan, Dr. Tom Callan. Yeah, hold on a second. Dr. Tom Callan. He had a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's Talking Turkey with Tom. Oh, okay. There it is. Sweet. Yeah, I got to subscribe to this. All right, so here we go. Yeah, you should subscribe to my man Tom Callan. I'm going to show you. Present. Share screen. I guess he had to change his YouTube because Talking Turkey with Tom. There it is. And we're going to go to videos. So he must have just started this one. We got live. Yeah, because that's a old one though. Anyway, there's Tom Callan. He's on Rumble too, by the way. But interesting. All right, let's keep going. What do I think will happen to Israel if they just take that barbaric? Well, how? Yeah, okay. So I mean, fight back by telling 1.1 Palestinians they got to leave. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to kill all these people, or maybe just protect your borders, like it should have been done to begin with. I mean, we just go in there and tell. I mean, just think if they came to Europe, they came to freaking Indiana, said, "Oh, you voted for this, and your guys went after us in war, so we're coming back to you. You better leave." Like, well, where am I supposed to go? Doesn't matter. Leave, like, because you voted for this. Well, I didn't vote for terrorist attacks. And I'm sorry, the idea that hand gliders are able to get over the border. No way, dude. There's just no way. No way. They're supposed to go to Jordan or Syria? They're just supposed to up and leave and go to Jordan or Syria? And just leave? Why? What do they do? I mean, yeah. Oh, 100%, man. Still amazed with the bloodlust on the left right now to keep up multiple. Yeah, and see, that's the thing. It's hard. We don't want to be, because these idiots on the left or their stupid, like demonstration on behalf of Hamas terrorism. I'm like, I don't want anything to do with that either. It's freaking evil. But that's what I don't understand. People don't get it. It's deliberately evil. They deliberately. It's maybe just because I've been awake now for a couple of years, but whatever the spirit or the people in charge, they want it to be evil, where you hate those guys and they hate you and they hate each other back. And as such, you see Rashid Talad or whatever the stupid name is, and Ilhan Omar, and you see all these idiots in college like, oh, I stand with Hamas against the whatever it is. I don't want anything to do with those people. Those people are freaking nuts too. And then you see the right-wing idiots, Ben Shapiro. I don't want anything to do with that. And it's like, how do people not fall? How do people fall for this? The hand gliders? Come on, man. They attack by land, air, and sea. By air was hand gliders. By sea was what? Dinghies? I mean, does no one see that? Obviously, this was some kind of either a false flag, completely deliberate. There's no way this just happened it's just no way. And I'm sitting there thinking, and so obviously there's something, if it even happened at all, I don't know. I mean, my goodness, who knows? And then did we not learn anything from the first Gulf War about the butchering of babies and stuff? It's like, oh yeah, well, it's crazy to me. But people want the war. They love it. It's like a freaking arcade game. They love it. And I was there. I'll never forget when shock and awe. I was like, I was there, dude. I was there, man. And I'm just sad. I'm just sad because innocent people are going to die. People are going to get pissed off. It's just going to make it go. At some point, you got to say, no, we're not fighting back here. We're going to say, we're going to secure our borders. We're going to allow you to do whatever you're going to do on your homeland, but we're not going to attack. I mean, we're going to hunt down. How the hell can Mossad hunt down Nazis from 80 years ago, but they can't hunt down Hamas guys? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so it just doesn't make sense to me. Or they can't find out that this is happening, but yet we can hunt down these Nazis. It's crazy. And yet we're going to evacuate the entirety of a population of over that's bigger than the size of Philadelphia in terms of population. Oh, I must be pro Hamas because I say that. I'm like, huh? I'm not pro Hamas. I'm pro peace, pro babies. So maybe what the secularists need to do is have more babies because demographics is desolate. And then you see these idiots in Europe and stuff. And I was like, this is what I think it is. They want to disrupt the places that are sound. And what are some of the places, the most sound place in terms of promoting of freedom? What is it? United States. So what happens? Israel starts freaking going nuts in Palestine, or the Gaza Strip, creating 1 million refugees. Where do you think a lot of them are going to end up? By design, they're going to end up in the US of A. Why? Because that can disrupt the United States. That's what they want. The United States are still the best thing going to stand up against freaking tyrants, without question. And once they've always wanted to take out the US. How can people not see this? They've always wanted the US to be on its back. And they say, well, we got Sniffy Joe in there. He's helping. We got a huge freaking just a sucking sound from the South, but the sucking sound is us bringing in people from the South. That's crazy. We don't know who these people are. We're going to give that's nuts. That's hurting for sure. So let's go into Gaza and raise everything and create another 1 million refugees. And then we're going to have liberal churches and whatnot. Come over here, the U.S. We'll give you money. We'll give you health care. Even our own citizens don't have anything. But I was just talking to a lady today. It's crazy. We donated some stuff, and she came by. And the kid that they're giving these things to is a Spanish guy from Honduras, it turns out. It's pretty cool. Anyways, a young guy. He's only 18 years old. He's getting ready to graduate high school. But his mom moved. And he didn't want to leave, from his high school. He's like, I got 6 months left. I don't want to leave. So he's renting an apartment on his own. He's literally an 18-year-old guy. And we got him a bed and a bed frame that we gave to him. And I delivered to his house. And he's got like this tiny room with 2 beds in there, just a air mattress thing. And we gave him a nice bed, a nice thing, and the whole thing. And so I helped him set it up and everything. I saw he got a flag. Hey, it's Honduras. He goes, yeah, that's my country. That's my country. What I'm saying, because he's Spanish. I said, I've been to Honduras, and he said, we got talking. He thinks about going to the army. And anyway, so I was talking, and I said, that's great. So I slipped him $100 because he's just a poor kid. His mom left to go move, and I slipped him $100, and he was grateful for it. Made me feel good. Now he's about to start crying. I'm about to start crying. So I just feel bad for the guy. Anyway, the point being was how I don't know why I got on that tangent. It's great because that's kind of giving. I like to give to people that you can see as opposed to just give to freaking Salvation Army is pretty good. Goodwill's pretty good, but you don't want to give to the freaking Sierra Club, and that's stupid. You don't want to give to the Republican National Committee. That's stupid too. Anyway, and so I was talking to the lady who kind of, she's a teacher at Roswell High School, and she does like the ESL stuff. And she goes, we're getting a lot of Ukrainians. I said, so the U.S. taxpayers have to pay for all these people. You know what I'm saying? The Honduran, this guy's from Honduras. Who knows who came here legally or not? I don't know. The Ukrainians, someone's paying for all this, and it's us. And I'm like, so they get all their, so they're getting all their stuff for free. You know what I'm saying? The free room and board, free healthcare, the whole thing. And we are not. And it's easy to be mad at those people, but it's not the Ukrainian guy or the freaking Honduran guy. The Honduran kid is kicking ass and taking names. He wants to go in the military. That's what happened to me. And I was 18. I told him, don't go in the Army, go in the Navy. You'll learn a skill in the Navy. He goes, really? He didn't have to go through the training. He knew me. He could understand a little bit. I said, yeah, the Navy, you can go to be like a CB or something like that. Don't go in the Army, man. And because you need a skill. And Navy will give you a skill a lot more than the Army, at least the infantry. Anyway, so we got to talk about Honduras and all that. He said, oh, man, that's cool. You get to go in my country. I said, yeah, but I didn't learn it. I didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Whereas at Navy Seabees, or you go to civil engineering or something like that, the Army Corps of Engineers. but learn a skill. And I don't know if the translator is able to tell him what I was hoping to convey. Anyway, it's not these people that's the problem. It's the people who allow this to happen that's the problem, who create the chaos. And that's the issue. It's not the freaking Palestinians in Gaza. It's not the Israelis, not the IDF. It's the people who allow the chaos to happen. It's always the way it's been. I did a video last year on the Toussaint, the Haitian slave revolt. And all the whites were scared crapless about the Haitian slave revolt. It's like, they're going to come after us next. And they had all these things like, they're going to slaughter whites. And the Haitian slaves, they just wanted their freedom, man. And so you have all these poor whites who were told by the aristocratic French that they're going to slaughter you if you don't fight against these slaves. And the slaves weren't Toussaint Overture, I forgot, but he's like, we're not going to slaughter these people. We just want our freedom. But the whites were so scared of a massive race war that they joined up with the freaking aristocrats who were keeping them. They were being kept down by these aristocrats. Same thing happened in the freaking the Civil War era. The poor whites, same thing. So they saw the slave revolt in Haiti. They said, "Oh man, there's gonna be whites, being slaughtered," and there was some of that. Don't get me wrong. There's always sacrifices, but there's thought the same thing was going to happen here, which is why Jefferson, all these not Jefferson, but I guess it could be Jefferson. But anyway, they didn't want to just free the slaves because they saw the Haitian revolts. They said, we don't want to have this massive slave race war. We can't just free these people to walk aimlessly without any skills. They can't even speak the freaking language. What are they going to do? And so the whites, again, they joined up with the aristocrats, the pro-slavery guys, because they're so scared about, massive race war. And this, again, it's like, oh my goodness, we just got suckered into it. So we blamed the blacks who were just trying to get free, as opposed to the people doing all this stuff. It's crazy. Now, were there some evil blacks? 100%. There's some evil freaking carpetbaggers? Absolutely. The freaking Reconstruction is horrible. Horrible. And they allowed blacks to get revenge. We know that for a fact. The Yankees from the North allowed some of the blacks to get revenge. That's a fact. What did that do? It played right into the whites being worried about it being slaughtered, which of course they put up their defensive mechanisms in the Klan. I mean, it's just evil, man. But it's not the individual Palestinian or the individual Israeli they're going to be the ones that bear the brunt of this. It's not going to be Netanyahu. It's not going to be freaking Joe Biden. It's not going to be Trump. So it's not going to be Milley or whatever that freaking ass clown's name was, and Lloyd Austin. I mean, all these guys, crazy. But yet people, they want the war. It's it just bothers me. If that means I'm pro Hamas, then so be it. It's so freaking stupid. Be like, dude, oh, you must be anti-white if you're pro Toussaint and the Haitian slave revolt. I'm like, no, I'm anti-aristocrat. I'm pro poor white. I'll tell you that right now, 100%. Poor middle-class whites, 100%. That's my heart bleeds for these people who fall for this stuff, who freaking join up to fight stupid George Bush's war. The vast majority, the infantry is mostly all white, by the way, just as an FYI. All these idiots that say the infantry is poor blacks. No. Very few blacks in the infantry. A lot of Spanish people, but the infantry, I mean, I don't know about still today, is predominantly white. And, it's combat arms, just FYI. Quartermasters and stuff like that, cooks, those are all blacks. The infantry, the combat arms are predominantly white. That's just a fact. So the people going to war are mostly poor and middle-class whites. And I hope they don't join anymore, because you're going to be put on the front lines to be the sacrifice to Moloch. All right, I guess that's it, man. I got nothing else to say. I want to talk taxes, but yeah, 100%. The solution is to stop the freaking fighting. It's like, what was that movie with what's his name, Ferris Bueller? What's that movie called? War Games or War Machine or something like that. You stop playing. Stop playing. But that'd be good. You should read War Pigs lyrics by Black Sabbath. And it wasn't Ozzy wrote it. I think it wasn't Geezer Butler, I think, wrote the lyrics. So Biden is already saying he's going to bring 1 million pounds. See, that's what exactly. So we're going to raise Gaza, and then we're going to bring these people here, all by design, all by design. Oh, we're 100%, man. Return to France without question. And read Camp of the Saints. Camp of the Saints, dude, is coming. It's coming for sure. And the way we avoid Camp of the Saints is we don't get involved in wars overseas in Syria and freaking Lebanon, Beirut, in the Middle East. Just we don't do that. That's hey, my man Ted, back again. Yeah, right on, Ted. I can see Israel. So either Israel didn't know, then what the hell we use our money for, or they did know, and what the hell they use our money for? Oh yeah, I forgot about that pulverizer. Yeah, I forgot salvation was like, oh man, that's crazy. My dad died at 55. His dad died at 53. Both my brother made it 60 and 63 so far. Right on, Brad. Look at Brad. My buddy's son is in the Army and learning how to be a heavy-duty truck mechanic, but still may have to be deployed if truck. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's skills to be learned, absolutely. And, being a diesel truck mechanic is a great skill to have for sure. I just, it has something to do with gas compression. I missed something there. I like gas compression. I'm back on a. Sharecropper, same as poor white. Yep. Yeah, right. See, there you go. Joe says progressives call for us to take refugees from Gaza. So, right wingers, do you not see you're falling into the trap? You freaking let's raise Gaza. Let's raise Gaza. And what's going to happen to the refugees? Here we go. They're going to come here. Right wingers might be the most mind-bogglingly stupid people in the history of mankind. Oh, because they're so easy to fall for the trap. So raise Gaza, create all these refugees, so that the goody two shoes among us can say, "Come to America." It's the most. The crazy thing is, I guarantee you that these Palestinians are going to come here. They're not going to support the 57 flavors. I'm telling you right now. They're not going to support all the endless porn. They're not going to support what the left wingers want. You see what I'm saying? That's where it's all set up, because these guys from the Palestinians are more along our socialist conservative side than these freaking liberals who are supporting them. That's for sure. And we can see in Dearborn, Michigan, right now they're supposed to be, chanting for the Palestinians at the same time they're pushing out the 57 flavors. It's a conundrum, isn't it? You're like, I like what they're doing over there. I don't like what they're doing there. But guess what? Who's more fearful that you should be fearful of? Muslims or atheists? We got to know it's atheists, right? Everybody's got to know this. Who's more fearful to be feared of, Muslims or atheists? By far and away, it's atheists. Muslims can't hold a candle to the damage atheists have done. Not even close. Anyway, so the point being is Joe's heading on the spot. So he said, yeah, let's let the IDF go in there and raise Gaza, create a 1.1 million refugees. Just come here. Come to Atlanta, Georgia. It's going to be great. But we showed them, didn't we? Okay, so that I'm pro-Hamas, of course. That's crazy. Pulverizer. Other than Pink Floyd, you're right, man. I can't. I don't know how COVID. COVID changed everything for me, man. I'm telling you. When I saw COVID, I saw. Wait a second. COVID was a big deal breaker for me for everything that was before thought of. What does COVID have to do with the war, the IDF and Hamas? Everything. The New World Order, whatever it is, whoever's in charge, everything. Because if that can happen, folks, people actually fell. People on the right who I cannot believe I was aligned with these people. I'm not left. I mean, those people are not. I was along the right for many, many years. That people fell for the idea that people in China were just walking down the street and keeled over and died from COVID. I could not believe that. People on the right also fell for the idea that Ecuador were stacking bodies because so many people were dying so suddenly they didn't have the place to stash them. I couldn't. I mean, I expect the left. The left are stupid. I get that. I expected them to fall for it, but people on the right falling for it, is mind-boggling to me. I was like, what? Huh? The right should have been prepared against the Jays, but they weren't because they've always just they're suckers, man. The left is evil. The right suckers. The left has, it's funny. We consider the left being the emotional. I actually think it's the right that's the emotional. The right is like, yeah, go get them, round them up, Patriots, let's go. And then a couple years later, like, kind of embarrassed, like January 6th, go get them. You're like, I was like that. I was like that. It's embarrassing now. I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Go get them. Let's get a Saddam. Now we got all these refugees. Let's get freaking Assad refugees. Let's get Gaddafi refugees. I fell for all that crap. All of it. Gaddafi, get him. Assad, get him. Saddam, get him. Now it's like, let's get Iran, because Ben Shapiro wants to take it Iran. The right wing, Lindsey Graham, they've hated Iran since Shah got overturned by the Khomeini, whatever his name is. They've wanted a war with Iran for a long time. A long time. Ben Shapiro won't rest until Iran is leveled. And what happens to the Iranians, by the way? All right, let's go to Afghanistan. Refugees. Crazy. So we're going to do defend Taiwan now? How? With what? What army? Where? By the way, in Israel, 80% of Israel's missiles were sent to Ukraine. It's a money laundering scheme. We send our money to Israel. They send the money to Ukraine. It's money laundering. It's crazy. Yep. If you would have told me a couple years ago, Pulverizer is my man John on here too. I remember I told him, I consider John a friend. I consider you a friend too. But both you guys, I probably banned some people I wish I would not have. I know for a fact I have. When both you guys are on here, spouting stuff when I first started a couple years back, probably 3-4 years ago, I was pretty close to banning John. You know what I'm saying? And he said, I knew. I was walking a tightrope with you, Josh. And Pulverizer, I don't think I was that close to banning you, but it might have been. There's a couple guys that I follow on Viva Frey Locals channel that I banned, and I can't remember who they are anymore. But it's like, just because I was waving the flag of the IDF, raise Gaza, raise West Bank, take them out. And now I'm not like that. It's crazy. But again, that must mean I'm pro-Hamas, because if you're pro-peace, that must mean you're a commie or you're pro-Hamas. Or you're, I don't know what else, you're pro-Putin. If you're pro-peace, you're pro-Putin, pro-Hamas, pro-whatever. Geezer right there. Geezer wrote the lyrics to Sad until Dio joined. Yeah, what I'm saying. Their religious beliefs are too far apart to ever agree. I don't even know it's about religion anymore. I just think it's all, power. How many French soldiers does it take to defend Paris? I don't know. They never tried. Oh, what I'm saying. I completely agree. Yeah. And that's what we're going to have to do, Joe. We're going to have to deport like crazy. I completely agree. You're going to have to do this now. You're going to have to say, you came illegally, you got to go. Because someone said, who was it? Some lady, I forgot her name. I follow her. She was who the hell was that? It was, I forgot, but she said, men who leave their families behind are going to war. Men who take their families with them are fleeing war. What are the current refugees? They're men who leave their families behind, or something like that. I'm butchering it, but I said that was, I love that. Remember, men who leave their families behind are going to war. Men who take their families with them are fleeing war. And we have 7 million people coming from our southern border. 5.5 or something like that are men, young men. That's an invading army. And these people have no right to be here. They need to be freaking sent back 100%. I don't care where the hell you came from. You don't deserve to be here. America's a special place. We have a right to freaking secure our damn borders. So we're going to spend money to secure Israel's borders and Ukraine's borders, but not our own. It's freaking evil. But that's the point. That's what they're trying to do. They want this to be, because they want America chaotic, because that's how they can take us down. The best thing about the United States is that first, it's a huge country, first and foremost. And secondly, there are many millions of Americans who will, under no circumstance, ever give up their firearms. We'll never be like Canada. We'll never be like Australia. It will never, ever happen. Now, the question is, will it happen for another generation underneath us? That's the concern I have. I was listening to this guy the other day and said, yeah, the people today won't give up their firearms. They'll leave them to their kids, but their kids, they might not be so inclined to keep their firearms. So say, oh man, remember when dad had these guns? Those are great, but what are we going to do with them? And then there would be like a central bank digital currency or something like that. And you got to get money to food or something. And this is kind of dystopian, but I could kind of see it. Like, you want food, you got to trade in your firearms to get food or something like that. I could see that for sure. Was it going to happen in our lifetimes? Probably not, but I could see it. So right now, as we see today, I'm not worried about it. A generation or two behind us, I would be, because I think a lot of people are being brainwashed with the TVs, with the freaking phones, with the unending pornography, with whatever kind of drugs they're taking, whatever kind of jabs they're taking. The testosterone is being weakened for sure. Maybe it's GMOs. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's chemtrails. I don't know. But other things are going into the psyche. They're making people more sheepish for sure. And as such, they'll be like, Grandpa had all these firearms, but they can give me some CBDC I can use for food. I can easily see that. Man, so right now, I'm not worried about the least, because there's millions of people who say, I'll never give my firearm. I'll go down before I give you these. I'm just not sure in 2 generations it's going to be the same. Germany will no longer take them. Really? Is that what? I know they got smoked. The left-wing guys got smoked. But actually, did you see the New Zealand? They just voted for a right-leaning government. And they got rid of that freaking horse tooth. She quit because she sucks. Jacinda, she took her ticket. She's now a big wig with the UN and all that. She played her role. But at least they got rid of the left-wing government. That's controlled opposition there too, for sure. But with that said, even though it's controlled opposition, I'd still rather have the right-wing people being in charge than the left-wing people. That's just a fact. And then Australia, they voted down that stupid Aborigines thing. It's just give them privileges that the Australians don't get. It's crazy. So they voted that down pretty significantly. And then the New Zealand has a new government. So that's good. And then in Germany, the lefties got trounced in a couple of local elections. So there's good stuff across the board, but it's too late. That's, I guess, that's and then they can build on the Gaza Strip. So remember, 20 years from now, we'll be talking about the Israeli settlers on the Gaza Strip, man. You can see that a mile away. You're like, oh, yeah, we get rid of them. Now it's no different than what's her name? Freaking Oprah Winfrey is doing in Maui. Let's play with the matches, burn these places down. Then a couple of years, people are forgetting. I'll come in there and buy up the land, and next thing you know, Oprah Winfrey's got her little kingdom there and her band of evil people. You could easily see that disagree a million miles away. Easily see that a mile away. That Israelis will start building on the Gaza Strip. I like the assimilate version of this. I like the assimilate. I talked to the gas station owners. They don't understand me that well yet. We are a Rothschild tax plantation. A Rothschild tax plantation. My favorite rap song was by I Got Sold by Eric B. and Rakim. I Got Sold. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Hold on a second. I Got Sold. Eric B. Yeah, right there. I Got Sold. I know you got sold. That's what it's called. Let me see if I can. I'm not sure if I can. Okay, I'll tell you if that's what it is. I know you got soul. This one raffles so good. Yeah, it's a right there. I know you got soul. And now it's just horrible. Horrible. Oh, I heard they found some gas out in the outside of Gaza too, as a matter of fact. I didn't know that to be right. Yeah, 100%. All right. They'll print $100 trillion. We'll lose everything up to hyperinflation and smoke. Get out of foreign entanglements. RFK looks better than. I don't know, man. He's still a big lefty. I like what he's doing on the vaxes and stuff. I mean, there's a couple of things I'm very loving about RFK. He was talking not just about the vax, but he's talking about something else. I just was it this? Something else about no. He was talking about the what was that? It was fluoride. Because everybody knows fluoride is not good. You don't want to be sucking down fluoride. That's just a fact. And if you think fluoride, there's no ill effects of fluoride, you haven't been following. You haven't been following it. It just happened. The science is explicitly anti-fluoride. Get fluoridation out of your water. Get a freaking filter. Anyway, and RFK has taken on that too. I like that. I like he's going against the V's. He's going against fluoride, but he's still a big lefty. He's still a big climate change guy. You know what I'm saying? And I just. It's just I like RFK in that regard, but then he still cheated on his wife like 35 times. He kept a diary on it. Look, I know Trump has done. I get all that, but just it's and there's one wife killed herself, and just it's weird. Being a mechanic is hard on one's body. Yeah, 100%, man. Well, thank you. Most people are afraid because they don't want to offend their base, and my base is right wingers. I've lost a lot of right wingers since my stance on COVID, because a lot of right wingers literally were they thought if they just capitulated, they'd get Trump over the finish line, and I was more than about Trump, and they were scared. I mean, they bought hook, line, and sinker the Fauci stuff. Now they're probably backpedaling on that, I hope. But a lot of them were buying it and were literally saying that I was going to get people killed with my stance against the COVID stuff. I thought that was absurd. And I lost a lot of right wingers there. I'm probably going to lose some right wingers now because my stance on the Israeli stuff. And then, of course, I've always been in favor, not always, but since I've been doing this YouTube channel, on a wealth tax and increasing taxes on get rid of QDI and LTC, long-term capital gain tax rates, preferable tax treatment for people making more than $1 million a year, and people don't want to hear that for the right. Oh, you must be and I've been called socialist lefty. It's fine, I don't care. But I'm not big on the 57 flavors. That's a fact. I got suckered myself. I got suckered into that. Should never fall for that. Paula Bolyard, who I interviewed on this very channel, we debated the 57 flavors and. And I wish I would have. I wish I could have seen as far as she could see into this, and I could not. I just thought they just want to be equal. Okay, turns out that's not true. Turns out that's not true in the least, and I fell for it. And I'm 100% against abortion, and I'm not hesitant to say I'm a white guy, and I got 2 white boys, and I want my white boys to be treated as everybody else is, which means I have a white people need to stop being so damn guilty of being white. That doesn't mean you're white supremacist. That doesn't mean you freaking want, whatever. It just says, no, I'm white, and I'm not necessarily proud of it, because it's silly to be proud of this. I had nothing to do with it. But the facts are, at some point, you're going to have to recognize that white people have a right to equality to everybody else too, white boys in particular, white men. And obviously that's not happening right now. It's just a fact. It's always fun to kind of poke people like, how dare you say anything positive about white people? Don't you know? Yeah, there's white genocide happening all over the place. No one wants to talk about it, though. But we're doing it to ourselves. We're not having babies. We're having abortions. And we're too heavy to just live happy without having babies. We're doing it to ourselves. Now, of course, there's tons of black on white crime, a lot more black on white crime than there is white on black. No one cares about that. Only time people care about interracial crime is if the black is the victim and the white's the perp. No one cares the other way around. That's got to stop too. Whites got to start saying, wait a second, man, we're under attack by some thugs, and that's got to stop. But being like, oh, now look, if you're a liberal and you live in these cities and you're like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Look, man, I hate when bad things happen to people, but you kind of you lost. You don't have street smarts. All right. You probably don't want to be hanging around people who don't like you. That's just a fact. Scott Adams said it. It's 100%. Does that mean all? No. I love the idea that people get along. That's why if we get on our knees and pray, we recognize that Jesus died for all of our sins. But it's stupid to say a white guy can go to South Fulton County at 3 a.m. in the morning, and just because I'm an ally of Black Lives Matter, that people are going to care. They don't. It's stupid. So the white people are just so stupid, man. I'm like, stop being so dumb. Stop being so just like, it's weird. Like, why you got to be like, oh, the biggest racists against white people are white people. It's nuts. I'm like, why are you doing that? It's crazy. Yeah, I remember Pro. All right. Right and left are both emotionally challenged. It's an unbalanced bias to the truth without being open to learn what you don't have 100%, man. Dude, like for instance, I take some of these Indians coming over here, freaking, they're just crushing. Love it. Now stand in the aisle when they should be moving to the side at Costco. Like, lady, move your cart. That's frustrating, but they're still coming here paying taxes. They're crushing. I don't, you think those Indians coming here are freaking big on 57 flavors, all that stuff? I doubt it. Maybe they are. I doubt it. Great. I love it. My little guy that's just talking about today from Honduras. He's going to be kicking ass and taking names in there. I love it. I love freaking people from different ethnicities, religions, races coming here and kicking ass and taking names. But we decide who gets to come in. Us. Isn't it interesting? I read this too, and haven't verified it, but were the Israelis trying to kick out Ethiopian Jews? Did y'all hear that? I said, wait a second, man. I'll take some freaking Ethiopians Ethiopian Christians. I'll take them 100 times out of 100 over freaking white liberals. Give me those freaking Ethiopian Christians, man. Freaking those Nigerian Christians. I'll take them 100 times out of 100 over white liberals. My goodness. Situational awareness is key. Exactly. I don't know what gray man concept is, but situational awareness, man. I mean, this it's not racist at all. It's just common sense. Keep your head on a swivel, and kind of be smart enough to foresee. I'm probably not going to be welcome here, if that makes sense. So I'm going to avoid that. That's a decade-old story. Does that mean it's not true, or does that mean what? A decades-old story about African Jews not being welcome in Israel? Yeah, give me those freaking. Dude, give me those Nigerian Christians, man. Oh, absolutely. Do I want them living in my house? No. No. Do I want them living next to me? I don't know. Maybe not. It depends on what they do at nighttime. Are they chill and go to bed at night? Like I like to go to sleep. Gray man is blending in, not sticking out as a threat or a sheepdog. Yeah, 100%. Here's Angie Madcat. I'm 100% legal and verified. Yeah, right on. 60 minutes of a piece on African Jews. I don't know if I heard that. I don't know if that's still true or not. Yeah, cholesterol one in my house, right on, man. Exactly. But I'm still, man, at the end of the day, do I want a bunch of drunken Irish people living next to me? No. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a German any day of the week because Germans, what the German does, we know they're very organized, very efficient, if you know what I'm saying. And the Germans get to work and they get the job done, then they go home and wait for the next day. I'll take a German any day of the week over a freaking an Irish drunk. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's all demographics. Yeah. Where are you, Fever? Where are you? I've been, whatever. What's your thing there? Where are you from, Fever Flav? Drunken Irishman here. Right on, man. Good day with it. Nah, it's all good. No loud noises have to be in my house. Absolutely. Where's Fever Flav from? He says, my stance is okay, don't fret. And Germans overbuild everything that lasts. Yeah, 100%, man. Give me more Germans. We need more Germans in here. So I think Angie's German. Yeah, there's Angie. Look at that. Angie's German. Good-looking German. We need good-looking German women in here. Let's bring them on. Good-looking German men too. Give some Germans, but Germany, because Hitler was such a freaking fool, he killed off all the good Germans and left all the Germans. I want to get along. I don't want to be offended. Oh, Hitler is so all these idiots. Hitler, it's like these white guys. Hitler. I was like, dude, Hitler was the worst thing for white people that ever was. Give me a freaking break, dude. Oh my goodness. Hitler is just such a. I don't understand these guys. I'm like, oh, stop that. It's stupid. Hitler is a freaking psyop, probably more than anything. Need more Albanians. Yeah, right here. Jill said she had a creepy white guy, rich white. Yeah, I tell you. Oosh. Last thing we need is more creepy white guys. It does them. When sitting at a restaurant, church movie, always sit with your back to the wall. You're much safer. Yeah, we don't want to be paranoid here, but I actually don't think we're. Funny thing I saw on YouTube, a couple of African young men living with Amish, and dude, I freaking love those. There's some of those African, some of these black guys we have in America. They're freaking kicking ass and taking names. It's kind of almost like the Palestinians with the stupid Hamas. We got so many guys in America that are freaking crushing of all races, all ethnicities, all religions. And it's so easy to just put everybody in a little pigeonhole. With that said, you still should not be walking in South Fulton County at 3 a.m. Looking for a ride home. You see what I'm saying? You don't do that. It just is stupid. But with that said, if you see this, like I remember when I was in Houston, this black guy had his kids and his wife, and they had a big dually pickup truck, and they were hauling something. He had his hat was curved at the brim, like what rednecks would do. I said, dude, I guarantee, I'd much rather have that living next to that guy than freaking what's that chick's name from MSNBC, Rachel Maddow. I'd rather have this guy 100 times out of 100. You know what I'm saying? God, the guy's kicking ass and taking names. Tons of guys in our country that are just freaking kicking ass and just crushing. With that said, situational awareness, man. I always think more Fräuleins. We import more Irish. I'd rather we import more Irish redheads, though. That's funny, man. Yeah, look at this. In Oklahoma, everyone carries guns. Some carry them openly. Absolutely. Yeah. The Bolsheviks murdered 66 million Russians. Yeah, 100%, man. What was Hitler supposed to do? Well, this idea that there are some people, white people, pro-white people, say, "Oh, I had to ban this guy because he's using the 88." And I was like, "Come on, can we stop that?" 80. It's like, oh, I just look. Don't make losers your idol, for heaven's sake, especially evil losers. That just it's kind of like, why is it that the guys who lose, like Robert E. Lee, he lost, man. I mean, why? Just the guys who lose are always like, I hate to say it, but at the end of the day, we won. We came to America and we cook ass and took names. Why are we the guilty parties? It's weird. It's kind of like Thomas Sowell saying in his book. He's like, slavery's happened all the time. It was only the Western Christians that they made it an issue. But slavery happens all the time. In fact, what happens is slavery is just a conquest. You took slaves when you won. No one cared. It wasn't until Western Christians said, no, don't do that anymore. But yet somehow we're the ones guilty for coming to America and taking over the land. Like, everyone takes over the land. It's conquest. That doesn't mean you go freaking trail tears on people. Just at the end of the day, you're like, no, why are we so guilty of everything? It's crazy. Like, where does this come from? This ingrained. Like, why is the losers always the ones we got to say, oh man, you lost? I'm not saying rub it in or anything, but now like main public radio say, we just want to recognize we're on Abenaki land. And like, oh God, what? You're going to give it up then? You're going to give up your land? No. So why don't you shut the hell up? Yeah, Ukraine's Nazis. 100%. 100%. If people stayed home between midnight, I tell my kids, man, after midnight, no, the only two things on the road, cops and drunks or criminals, cops, drunks, and criminals. I had one lady, when I said that, she got mad. She goes, I work the third shift or whatever. How dare you call me a cop, drunk, or criminal? I said, lady, come on. I'm not being literal here. I mean, there are other people on the road after midnight, but basically, if you can be off the road after midnight, you should be. I don't think Mexicans think they own Texas. Are there some Mexicans? Sure. You ever been to South Texas? A lot of those guys, Tejanos or Texicans, dude, these guys kick ass and take names, man. Dude, there's tons of Texicans down there that are freaking, 8 generations of guys freaking just down there kicking ass and taking names, man. They don't think they own Texas. I'll tell you. Are there some? Sure. But to lump them all in, yeah. The freaks come out at night. The freaks come out at night. The freaks. All right, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Yeah, don't use this lumping. It's the same thing with the Palestinians. It's the same thing with the freaking. But you said Texas, and I don't know in Arizona, maybe in California. Well, that's the problem that you guys have. Don't lump everybody in, because when you do, you're 100%, dude. Mexicans, I freaking love Mexicans. First of all, the Mexican women are freaking gorgeous. I tell you. Is Jeremy still here? Jeremy, get a job at USA. Go work in the freaking USA San Antonio thing. Man, you're going to see some of the freaking most beautiful Mexicano ladies. Oh, my goodness. It's like your head's like, holy crap, because there's like 20,000 people who work there. The nicest people you ever possibly meet. I freaking see. That's why I love immigration. As long as we control who comes, I love it. I love meeting people come here and freaking crush. It literally makes my heart melt when these guys come here and kick ass and take names, dude. Man, anyway, you go to USA on that. You're just like, there's so many beautiful ladies down there. It's crazy. Oh man. And the Filipino women are pretty good looking too, man. Filipino looking pretty good looking. My brother said he went to Colombia. He said, dude, you don't understand. And I said, what? He goes, the women down there are just like, it's just insane. I think the most, I remember when I got out of the Army, I was working when I was in college, I was working as a security guard at night. I think the most beautiful woman I ever seen in my life. I was working security guard at this like long-term care facility at night. And she was a nurse from Senegal. It was like a nicest person you could ever possibly meet. It's just stunning how gorgeous she was. And I said, man, do you all look like that in Senegal? And she kind of laughed and she goes, well, and kind of, no, but we and I said, and I wasn't hitting on her, right? Just because she was well beyond. I mean, she was just so beautiful, but just so nice. There's no like you didn't look at her sexually. It just like it was like an angel. And I just remember saying, I said, I need to move to Senegal. She thought that was funny. But I was like, dang, I've never been to Senegal, but I'll never, man, she was just beautiful. Oh my goodness. And I was just like, man, I don't even know where Senegal is. But never she said, where are you from? Senegal. I said, where the hell is that? No way, dude. Irish redheads, pale skin, the fiery. Oh man, that's funny. That doesn't do it for me. But anyway, that's Brazilian women. That's what people say. I don't know, man. I haven't come across that many Brazilian women that I would classify as hot. I did have another lady when I was at college with from Bolivia. Man, she was smoking hot too. I was, man, smoking Bolivian women. Oh my goodness. Because they got like some of the part of the conquistador plus the Indian. Man, beautiful. Beautiful. I tell you, man. Rednecks have valuable skills, Senegal French. Oh, that might have been what it was. Yeah. The D and N look. These dark, mysterious. Spanish blood. That might be what it was. Yeah, Senegal French mix. Maybe that's what it was. No, redheads. No redheads. My ex was a devil, man. Yeah, that's what my wife is. She's got the Iberian Peninsula in her. So all her brothers and sisters are all Irish, pure Irish mix. And then her dad was a purebred. Her mom's a California girl. So they got, a lot of the dad stuff. But my wife got all the whatever Iberian Peninsula that came through there. My dad, her mom or dad came to her. So she's kind of Spanish. Hey, good night, Harry. So she literally looks like she's Spanish in some regard. People come up there, not so much anymore. She's got older, but when we're young, we'd come up, start talking Spanish to her because she looked like she was, Spanish. It's crazy, and not so much anymore. But back in the day, tons of Senegal coming. open border, but not women. Exactly. That's the problem. I mean, it's these green-eyed auburn hair. I had a friend of mine, a guy who I was in the Army with, who retired not that long ago as a sergeant major. I couldn't believe it. And he said, and he's from Mexico or South Texas, Mexico. Anyway, and he said, dude, you haven't seen a good-looking woman until you see a blonde Mexican. I said, blonde Mexicans? I couldn't imagine it. I still don't think I've ever, not like fake blonde Mexicans. I said, blonde Mexicans? That sounds insane. That sounds like a unicorn because, man, you see blonde Mexicans, woo, Nelly. Don't worry, redheads turn gray at some points, man. Let's face it, guys. Any woman that smiles at us, 100%, Chuck, 100%, man. Any woman that smiles, exactly. I imagine being a chick and like you're just nice and you smile at somebody. Oh, she likes me. I need to go stalk her. I mean, being a woman's tough. Oh yeah, dude. Anyway, so my brother said Colombian women are just. I was like, wow, it's You should watch Owen Benjamin. Not Andrew, my man. If you like Steven Crowder, Owen Benjamin wrote a lot of the comedy sketches for Steven Crowder, and he went on his own. Never seen a blonde me either. I don't know what he's talking about, but he swore by it, and I said, okay. The idea of a blonde Mexican sounds intriguing. Yeah, no one appreciates. No, absolutely, never. No one appreciates the beauty of men. They just say, "Can you provide for us?" That's what I don't understand. That's what women want. They want a man to provide. They don't care about the look. I mean, maybe a little bit, but they care about can you provide? Can you protect? Can you provide? Can you protect? It's just that simple. Chicks want protection and provisions. Men want the looks and the love. And so if you're any women still on here, probably not anymore. And now it's a helmet party, I guess, on Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. But if there's any women out there, always remember, men want to feel needed. They want to feel like respected. So you say to your husband, you did a good job then. I really appreciate you. Hey, all right. I mean, look, here's Angie. I mean, that's German. Freaking German women are hot too. But I tell you, man. But so Angie, albino woman? I don't know what that is. But anyway, so men want to be appreciated and needed. But anyway, so Angie says there are a lot of blonde and blue-eyed Mexicans and Argentinians from the Germans. Yes, 100%. I wonder why the Germans emigrated, Angie, huh? Why did the Germans emigrate to Argentina? Wonder why. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting enough trouble as it is. I probably have no more women. I bet Jill's not even on here anymore. Oh, I've offended all the women. Just remember, men want to be needed and appreciated. That's all they need. Just say, I appreciate you, husband. You're doing good. That's it. That's all they need. Throw that every now and again. Your husband's be, oh man, thank you. Trust me. Because old Charlotte up there, freaking, I was like, just tell me once in a while, hey, good job. You look good. We get into skirmishes about this. I said, man, it's all right. Mary used to stalk you, Josh. Mary? Who is that? Mary used to stalk me? I don't know who Mary is. Mary? I'm not sure who that is, man. Yeah, I don't like being stalked. Hey, 100%, Ted. It's just the way it is. The way it'll forever be. Women want to be protected. Men want to protect. They want to feel needed. It's just. Mary used to argue with me on live. Mary. I can't remember. All right. I get out of here. God bless, guys. Appreciate y'all being here. See you guys next Saturday. Oh, maybe I won't be next. I'm thinking I'm going to a solar photovoltaic installation demonstration up in Tennessee on Saturday. So I might not be back for the live. Yeah, I think I will be back for the live stream. I think, but it's going to be up in Chattanooga, and I think I'm going to drive up there because I do like I do like photovoltaic. We're not going to run the world on photovoltaic. Solar is just not going to happen. But for your own stuff, you can absolutely get enough power generated from solar photovoltaic to at least power some batteries. That's just a fact. So, all right. Good night, guys. God bless. Appreciate it. Hey, Sherry. All right. Wait, real quick, Sherry, before you leave. Where you had said, oh, it's starting to rain. Where are you from, Sherry? Because you had made a comment after I said something about, I don't know, something I said offensive. You go, okay, you said something. So I wanted to ask you, where are you from, Sherry? If she's still here. I've never come across a woman who wasn't beautiful. Oh, I have. Oh, I have. Oof. And I just wonder if and the many things I say to offend people, I wonder what I said there that you said, oh, that's good or something like that. It's because, I like to make sure we keep enough women on here. Again, we have probably 80 to 85% men on YouTube as a whole, at least my channel as a whole. So we want to keep our own women happy here for sure. And if we get any Wisconsin, okay, gotcha. All right, good. But we always want to make sure we keep our people here, not to walk away because I say something offensive, because it's just my nature. I say stuff offensive all the time. And I stick to my tri-fuel generator 100%, but it's still cool to learn, actually. Well, Andrew, you're a man of jack of all trades, so you could figure out photovoltaic in 2 seconds flat. I can't. I don't have the brain for it. All right, gotta go. God bless. See ya.